What's up, guys? I'm Steven,
And I'm Mike.
and welcome back to Between the Ropes Wrestling.
Today we're going to be reacting to NXT TakeOver Blackpool.
Exactly. We just finished watching the show, including the post-main event sequence, which was something else, man.
Yeah, I expected it, and I still didn't expect it.
I know. Yeah, we talked about it before. Like, we thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to show up in the ring, though. I thought he'd be, at ringside.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what I thought.
But now we're getting it. Walter versus Pete Dunne.
I know, seriously. Yeah, I guess so. We just broke the ice. Walter did show up.
Yeah.
So let's just, in a nutshell, what did you think of the show?
I liked it. I think that's exactly what we need from a UK takeover. It reminded me a lot of the regular NXT takeovers.
Mm-hmm.
Very competition-based. A lot of nice surprises.
Yeah.
We'll get into some of those later.
Definitely. I agree. Great show, really fun.
Great matches.
I'd say a solid 4 stars. Enjoyable, fun, storyline driven, really good show.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I guess we're gonna kick off. I took some notes, so that we could actually discuss everything. So the first match was for the NXT UK tag titles. This is Mustache Mountain versus the Grizzled Young Veterans.
Yeah, and if you watched our predictions video, we were both wrong.
We suck.
The Grizzled Young Veterans won. Which I'm not mad about. Mad about. We like the Grizzled Young Veterans.
Yeah.
Especially Zach Gibson.
Yeah, Liverpool's #1. So this was great. I guess the first one we'll touch on, Mustache Mountain enters, and you made a comment
I didn't
on
like their new gear. So they're wearing new gear. They're wearing their trunks like they normally do, but they were wearing red tights underneath. And I don't know. The look didn't work for them, in my opinion.
I thought it was great. I loved it. I thought the boots matched everything else.
I like the boots.
The boots are great.
I just didn't like the red tights.
I just thought it looked cool. And I mean, Tyler Bate has gigantic legs, so it looked kind of sick. But all right, so I guess we'll get into this match. The biggest takeaway, obviously, was Great match. Grizzled Young Vets came away with the win, but Trent Seven, pretty early on, cracked his head open.
Yeah, and I couldn't pinpoint what happened.
I have no idea. I don't know if he took a spill to the outside and that did it, or if it was that forearm that they kind of referred to.
Yeah, but I don't see how that would.
If a forearm cracked his head open,
because that would have had to connect. That would have had to connect
really hard,
which I feel like would have concussed him.
Yeah, and he was bleeding a lot.
Yeah, and he performed so well afterwards. That's why I feel like it wasn't something like that.
And a big note on that. So he got cut up, and then he stayed in the match for a while. I thought he'd tag out pretty quickly,
it took a while to tag Bate in.
He had quite the performance just coming off of it. And then once he did get him in, Tyler Bate had his normal airplane spin spot, but then he put down. I think he had James Drake up, and then he put him back down and put him and Zach Gibson in tombstone position almost, or pile driver.
Yeah.
And then picked them both up and did it.
Crazy. And then he fell off.
Yeah, James Drake.
And the crowd was chanting, "You fell off, you fell off."
But it was nuts because Tyler Bate usually does it with some pretty big guys. He's picking up 250 pounds, but James Drake and Zach Gibson, that was easily 400. Yeah,
like that.
Unbelievable.
And then to spin around like he did.
I know, really crazy shit. Whoops. So then we had, the Ticket to Ride 450 spot.
Yeah, I thought that was ending the match right there.
Yes.
I thought Mustache Mountain was losing right at that spot.
So Zach Gibson hit a Ticket to Ride, which is essentially a code breaker, on Trent Seven, and then James Drake goes up to the top rope and hits a 450. Out of nowhere, hits this 450, and then 1, 2, kick out at 3.
Yeah, I think Trent Seven had a great showing in this match.
He really
stood out, especially with the blood.
Yeah,
and all that.
It was great. Then there was the suicide dive.
Yeah, which one? Tyler Bate did it, and then they hit him, and then Trent Seven went for the dive
and got
and
cracked.
Then James Drake caught him.
Yeah, that was the end of the match. That's how it ended. But the first one, Zach Gibson had Tyler Bate in an electric chair position.
Oh, this one.
And James Drake came and suicide dived out of the ring and cleaned Tyler Bate off of Gibson's shoulders.
Yeah.
Unreal. It was kind of scary. I did not enjoy it, but it was a great, great spot.
Yeah. Or what about the double submission?
Oh, yeah.
The Grizzled Young Veterans, they had Mustache Mountain in their submissions, and Tyler Bate just picks up. I think it was Zach Gibson.
He picked up James Drake.
and throws him at Zach Gibson to get him. And they've done that spot before.
But it was just in the moment.
It's always such a cool spot.
Yeah, it was really great. So this match ended with Ticket to Mayhem, which is the finishing move of the Grizzled Young Vets. And this was after that suicide dive spot that Mike was talking about when Trent Seven tried to follow up Tyler Bates' suicide dive, but got caught by James Drake. And they come in, and James Drake kind of like tosses him up in the air. Zach Gibson hits the Ticket to Ride. 1, 2, 3. We got new champs.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought they were gonna ride high with Mustache Mountain as like the face of the tag division.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna have him chase those belts.
Yeah. Do you think Grizzled Young Veterans are gonna have a long reign?
No, I don't think so. I really don't. I think it's gonna be quick because I think Mustache Mountain will come back, take those belts.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be Gallus versus Mustache Mountain.
Yeah, well, I know
belts.
in our predictions we said we thought we were gonna do British Strong Style versus,
but now with Walter,
Gallus, yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point.
Walter throws in a big monkey wrench into Pete Dunne's plans.
Yeah, I mean everything else about this match though, minus that and the actual outcome, we were pretty spot on. It was the first match on the card. It was a great match.
Yeah, great match, and the crowd was super
high.
hot.
Oh my god, great energy. But this led us into the second match, which I think was my favorite match.
I wonder why.
So before the show, this is the Jordan Devlin versus Travis Banks match. So before the show, Jordan Devlin attacked Travis Banks backstage and worked on his already injured knee. So that was a storyline that was set up, but they were like, "Oh no, Travis Banks is cleared; he'll be in the match." So I was like, "Okay, that was dumb. Why have that as a storyline?"
Yeah, it was weird.
It was weird
because he had just returned from injury,
right? And I didn't understand why you'd play on that if they were about to have a match,
right?
And then they didn't cancel the match. I was like, "Okay, something's going on."
Yeah, and I thought, because I always thought Jordan Devlin was going to win this match,
right?
But then when Jordan Devlin came out, Travis Banks started wailing on him, so I thought Travis Banks was going to win.
Right, yeah, so Travis Banks comes out, and just like you said, Devlin comes out. Banks hits him with a suicide dive, like halfway down the ramp. So they start beating the crap out of each other, like you said. But then Devlin just started working on Banks's knee.
Yeah, well, because it started because he tossed him into the stairs.
Yeah,
like knee
right.
first.
Yep.
And then that was the end of it.
Yeah, and then he just starts beating the crap out of him. So they take him out. Devlin hops on the mic, and he's like, "Since we're not gonna have a match, I guess it's interview time with Jordan Devlin." And I was just like, I was rolling my eyes. I was like, "What the fuck?" So
I knew he was gonna fight somebody here.
Yeah. So Sid Scala and Johnny Saint come out.
Yeah.
And Jordan Devlin's like, "I'm the greatest Irish wrestler alive." And Sid Scala, remember when he was a wrestler? He's just like, "Well, you know what? We thought you were gonna pull something like this, so we had a backup plan."
And then we thought he was going to be in the audience, but he wasn't. And now we know why. It was Finn Balor shows up, which is cool because for those of you who don't know, Finn Balor in real life trained Jordan Devlin in wrestling.
Exactly.
So they have a long history together.
Yeah, so the lights go out, and everybody knew immediately.
Crowd erupts.
We're going nuts.
Yeah, I didn't expect it.
Finn Balor is one of my favorites, so I just started screaming. So Finn comes out. I have written down Finn versus fake Finn because Jordan Devlin is essentially fake Finn Balor. They start just beating the crap out of each other, and Finn starts off. He hits the sling blade, which usually sets up his finishing move. But
yeah, because he went up to do the coup.
Yeah, he went up, and Jordan Devlin.
I thought they were going to squash him.
I did too. I was like, oh my god, 30 seconds. But Jordan Devlin just rolls right out of the ring.
Yeah, they had a pretty lengthy match.
Yeah, they really did.
Finn won the match. But which he should have because he's Finn
100%. Yeah.
But Jordan Devlin had a great showing. He does not come out looking weak at all.
No way. No,
because the match was so on. He held his own against Finn Balor.
I mean, what, a 15, 20-minute match? Like, it was good.
And Finn, look at his accomplishments. He's the first ever Universal Champion. He's the longest NXT champion, the longest reigning.
And that's just in the WWE. Never mind, look at his work outside of WWE. Yeah. But so there was a lot of like mimicking moments here where you could see the fingerprints of Finn Balor all over Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin did the Finn Balor stomp when he like knocks the guy to the ground and then does the double stomp to his chest.
But one thing you pointed out that I thought was interesting was Finn's ring gear.
Oh,
he was wearing the black trunks and he was wearing the white kick pads, and I was saying how it looks, pretty slick.
Yep.
And then you point out how Jordan Devlin was wearing the white trunks with the black.
Yeah, they were like inverted.
So I don't know if they did it on purpose or not.
But I like to think
they did.
It was a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they had a chop battle, which was kind of wild. Then they both did the abdominal stretch on each other. They both hit Pele kicks onto each other, which I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. Like doing the same moves back and forth. And then there was a lot of moments where I thought Finn was just going to end this. And then like he hit the 1916 kick out of 2, sling blade. And then when he went for the drop kick, Devlin just super kicked the crap out of him. Like,
yeah, Jordan Devlin really came out looking like a star in this match.
He did. And, I've complained about NXT UK not building up other stars. This was a great, I mean, Devlin lost off a coup de grace, shocker. He lost, but man, to Finn Balor, to a main eventer who came down and in a 20-minute match.
Yeah.
It was a great, it was probably one of the most fun matches of the night simply because there really wasn't much storyline to it. It was just Finn Balor, everybody loves Finn, versus Jordan Devlin, and they put on a great match. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really liked this one.
I did too.
Especially seeing Finn Balor there.
Yeah, which was great. It's in the UK where he's from, so I think that was a really nice touch. And that's a way to pop ratings for NXT UK, a brand new show.
I agree completely. It's going to get more eyes on the product.
Yeah, so we didn't predict that match because we didn't know it was going to be on the card. It was just announced before the show. But even when we were talking about it before, we both were wrong because we either had Jordan Devlin or Travis Banks, and neither one of them won. I did not pick Finn Balor to win that match. So
for what it's worth, I thought Jordan Devlin would have beat Travis Banks.
And I thought Travis Banks would have won, but I guess if we look at it, Travis Banks lost pretty badly.
Jordan Devlin got the upper hand, so I'm going to count that as
Travis Banks got pretty much crushed.
I'm going to count that as a victory.
I'll give you that one. So that led to the next match, the no DQ match between Eddie Dennis and Dave Mastiff. I thought this was way better than I thought.
Yeah. It was about what I expected.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good, entertaining match, but it wasn't like, spot fest or anything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think it was something to entertain the crowd, but to let them keep their energy from Finn Balor into, the big women's match in the main event.
I think I just expected it to be so not good, like disappointing.
Really?
Then, I don't know why. I guess I just don't think Eddie Dennis is great in ring.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
And so I guess that's what kind of did it for me. But honestly, he had a great performance.
I loved that table spot.
Oh my
In the end when Dave Mastiff, because it looked like Eddie Dennis was gonna roll out.
I thought he was, but
he didn't.
Man, eating like 300 pounds.
I know, that's a big boy.
Yeah, we did learn 21 and a half stone, which is what Dave Mastiff weighs in at, is 301 pounds. And just like Mike alluded to, the match ended with Dave Mastiff's like somersault cannonball into a table that was set up in the corner.
Yeah.
And Eddie Dennis took it like a champ. Took all 301 pounds.
I would not want to take that.
No, there was a lot of they really took advantage of this no DQ.
Yeah.
Chairs, kendo sticks, the steps. Oh my god, everything. Yeah, you're right.
Like that spot when Dave Mastiff was going to grab the steps and they weren't coming apart.
Oh yeah, so you had to tip him over and like shake him apart.
I know. But then he went for the bigger stairs too.
Yeah, I know.
We don't see that a lot.
No, a lot of guys go for the smaller ones.
They're so much heavier.
We also saw, I'm not the biggest Eddie Dennis fan, but I will say the high cross spot.
Yeah,
where he picked up nice. Dave Mastiff.
I didn't think he was able to do that.
That was unbelievable. So he has the spot. He puts Dave Mastiff up on the turnbuckle, and then he picked him up over his head and slammed him down. And that's 301 pounds up over the head. That was impressive.
He's a tall guy, but he's a skinny guy,
Right. Yeah, it was. He's not.
I was impressed.
Yeah,
I was impressed.
It was great. This was a fun match.
Yeah.
It wasn't
the best way to describe it.
It wasn't the most technically precise match. It wasn't like, oh my god, these guys are title contenders, but it was fun. I had fun watching it, and it kept me entertained. And an all-around fun show. This probably was the least.
Yeah. It was probably
it wasn't the best match.
It wasn't. It was a really good match.
Yeah,
but it was like the lowest of the card.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, and for such a great show, like that's.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not taking away from them at all. So yeah, I had fun. We both predicted Dave Mastiff, and Dave Mastiff went over. So I guess that wasn't too surprising. Dave Mastiff he's gotten a huge push as the face of the Monsters in NXT UK. Yeah. So I'm not too surprised that he went over here. It wouldn't have been shocking to see a heel take a win, but
yeah.
But yeah, we thought Dave Mastiff, and I was glad he won. Keep him strong. that led to a great match.
Yeah. I'm so happy with the outcome of this match.
Me too. So this led to the women's title match: Toni Storm versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea.
Whatever.
Everyone says it differently. Rhea Ripley. This, I mean, if the main event hadn't been so amazing,
This would have been the best match on the card.
This would have been on any other
Toni
card.
Storm's amazing.
Toni Storm
And
is
I'm happy she's champion.
Yes.
I picked Ripley in my prediction to win. But I wanted Toni to win. Even going into it, I was like, I hope Toni wins. I hope I'm wrong on this one. I mean, if you watch back the prediction videos, I really only said Ripley because I wanted to differ, so it'd be a little interesting.
Right. Well, I predicted Toni Storm, who did go over. Great. Like I said, any other card, this is the best match on the card.
Because Toni Storm, I don't think she's going to be in NXT UK for too long.
No, I mean, she's only 23.
Yeah.
And she is already so good.
What does this mean for Ripley, though?
I don't know.
Because, like,
what more does she have to do?
Well, when she was champion, she was kind of overshadowed by Toni Storm anyway.
Right. Now she's not
Toni
even
Storm's champion. I'm sure they'll have a rematch.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty sure they're going to have a rematch.
I mean, you could see, that's kind of what people said about Tyler Bate. Like, when he lost that UK title, it was, is he just going to go up? And
look what happens.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, he's doing fine, but he's one of the top guys. But
right.
I mean,
just totally different storyline.
He's definitely not in the world title picture.
So I could see something similar with Rhea Ripley, put her in a different storyline. I mean, she could go to NXT Prime with the women call-ups happening. She shouldn't, because there's a lot of women there.
In UK.
I agree.
Because they don't have a lot of female stars there.
No.
It's really just her and Toni.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they do with her, though. The feud is great, though.
Yeah,
they work really well together in the ring. There were so many great spots. I mean, we had so many reversals.
I know.
The reversals of their
there are a lot
finishers.
of times it looks like Toni was going to lose.
Yeah, like Rhea Ripley hit the Riptide partway through the match. Well, there was one moment. They went for Storm Zero. Rhea Ripley reversed it. Then she went for the Riptide.
Yeah.
And Toni Storm reversed it. And then Toni Storm went for Storm Zero again, and Ripley reversed that. It was just back and forth.
It was crazy.
Then Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide, which is her finisher. And
I thought she had it there.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that was
it.
Quick loss.
That's the end of the match.
And so it's 1-2, and we're like, all right, that's a good match. And Toni Storm kicked out.
I know.
And I don't think at this point anyone had kicked out of a Riptide.
I don't think so.
I don't think anyone had.
Watching too many episodes, but I don't.
But even in the Mae Young Classic, so. I think no one really kicked out of a Riptide, or she didn't hit it.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. And then Toni Storm, obviously they fight a little bit. They keep leading to another spot. They have some good moments. Then Toni Storm hits a Storm Zero.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, Toni Storm, new champ. And Rhea Ripley kicked out.
I know. And
we looked at each other, and I was just like, I have no idea what's going to happen now. I was so thrown off. Then pretty quickly after, Rhea Ripley goes for the Riptide. Toni Storm reverses. Storm Zero. 1, 2, 3. New champ.
Mm-hmm.
And man, was that crowd electric.
I know. She was, and you could see how happy she was. Like, this is her whole world.
Yeah. Even at the beginning of the match, you were like, oh, she looks like she's in a good mood.
Yeah.
And it led to her winning.
Because we weren't sure. Because, she had some unfortunate events happen to her.
Right.
So I didn't know if that would affect her. But it didn't.
No.
She really brushed it off for the show.
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing. Like, what a great match. She is so good at getting the crowd into a match.
I know.
Ripley's great at getting heat and everything, but man, did Toni Storm...
Because she has it. WWE always talks about this it factor that you can't teach, and she has it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my God. It's just, she is electric. Any other card, this is the best match on the card.
Yeah.
And it still was a great match. It just was overshadowed by
Pete Dunne and Joe Coffey. What
a
match.
God.
How long did this match end up being?
I know that I looked at my phone and it started around 3:58 and didn't end until 4:35.
Yeah, it was like almost an hour, which is unheard of in WWE.
It was, I mean, they probably clocked in from the beginning of entrances to Walter leaving probably a good 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So the first thing we noticed is Kenny Omega confirmed WWE. They cut to the crowd, and a fan wearing this exact shirt was sitting front row, and they held on him for a while. And they could have chosen any fan. They wouldn't have locked on to a Kenny shirt for no reason. Kenny, WWE confirmed.
Yeah, he's going to be the NXT UK champion.
Yeah, right. That would be something. What a waste of him that would be. Anyway, on a more serious note, Pete Dunne, Joe Coffey. What are your just initial takeaways from this match?
I mean, it was an amazing match.
Unreal.
Joe Coffey had what a good showing from him.
I know.
So athletic. He did a spot where he was like jumping on the turnbuckle and
Oh
just
yeah,
so agile.
yeah. He gets he goes up on the second, jumps up to the
Yes.
top, and then does the crossbody off of it. It's absurd.
Yeah. And did you notice Pete Dunne's attire?
Yeah.
They were pointing, even the commentators pointed out it was like kind of William Regal.
Yeah.
The same designs on the side.
Yeah, it was really cool. And he locked in the Regal lock.
Yeah, the Regal stretch.
Yeah. Oh, that was so cool. Yeah, Joe Coffey had a great showing. It sucks the way it had to end with Walter. Big boot dropping Joe Coffey.
Thrilled about that. I mean, granted, he did just have an hour match.
Right.
But I mean,
man, such a good showing. And you know that he's just going to get relegated down to Gallus feuding in some tag like feud.
Well, I mean, I think they're going to eventually introduce a mid-card title.
I think so. And Joe Coffey will take that.
NXT has the North American title, you know?
Right. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. But man, I was so impressed with Joe Coffey. I'm always impressed with Pete Dunne, but Joe Coffey, he really brought it today.
Yes.
So there's a lot of mat grappling, lots of submissions, obviously a lot of bending the fingers. Pete Dunne doing a lot of avoiding the lariat from Joe Coffey. Granted, he did not do a great job of avoiding that lariat. I think he ate like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What about that spot when they were on the top rope
and
it looked like Joe Coffey just
fell off?
Yeah,
oh my God.
Fell back.
Yeah, they both fell. And I was like, is that supposed to happen?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think so too.
I think it was.
Because then they did it again, but Joe Coffey pulled Pete Dunne to the outside when they both fell.
Yeah.
So it was just, I think it was good, like playing on expectations. Everyone expects a big move to happen when you go to the top rope. And I think having it be like, oh my God, like it helps to suspend your disbelief of like, oh my God, like they just fell. Like that was not good. There was also that spot of the pop-up slam on the ramp when Pete Dunne ran up and Joe Coffey just popped him up in the air and then like power slammed him over on the ramp.
Yeah. But what I
Jesus.
didn't really like though is when Joe Coffey went back into the ring to take a countout victory.
Yeah, like you don't win the title, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were thinking there. It didn't make any sense.
It got all the way to 9. It's not like it went to 8 or like 7.
Yeah,
and he was like, oh, wait a second.
The commentators were saying like, oh, Joe Coffey's not going to let it get to 10. But like, he was.
He was going to let it get. It kind of gave away that Pete Dunne was going to get back in.
Yeah.
A lot of those countout spots are great because you don't know what's going to happen. Right. It'll be like the champ in the ring and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen right here? And then it doesn't happen. So that was it was kind of stupid. There was a lot of slams. There was one point they alluded to Pete Dunne being like Daniel Bryan. Like they compared him, I think, just because of size and stature.
Yeah, well, and because they're both really technical wrestlers too.
But then it was funny because Pete Dunne did the Daniel Bryan run up the turnbuckle backflip, and I was like, oh, there's the Pete Dunne right there, or the Daniel Bryan right there. Yeah, I mean, I have so many notes for this match simply because of how long it was. We saw Joe Coffey kick out of a bitter end.
Yeah, I thought Pete Dunne was winning it right there.
When he hit that bitter end, because Joe Coffey went for that crossbody we talked about where he hops up the turnbuckle. Pete Dunne punched him out of the air and then picked him up, bitter end, hit it.
There were a couple of times I thought Joe Coffey was going to win.
Yeah, he hit a couple of his discus lariats and it
yeah, there was one move.
Man.
I forget what the exact spot was, but I was like, wow, Joe Coffey is winning this title.
Yeah, there were some great moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kicked out of a bitter end, which I know no one has done. And that was absurd. We had a I think the spot was the Coffey lariat, and I have Pete Dunne kicked out at 2 7/8.
Yeah.
It was that spot.
Yeah, that was the one.
He hit his straight discus lariat, his finishing move, and it was 1, 2, and I swear his hand was about to touch that mat, and he kicked out.
Was finishing it.
Oh, what a great! I mean, that's how you have a good match, you know.
The ending was a little weird.
To me,
though.
Yeah. So after another bitter end, so I think he hit a total of 3.
Yeah,
because he hits the second one, and Joe Coffey just rolled away.
Yeah, and then it was the last one he hit. I thought that was it, but Joe Coffey kicked out, and then we went right into a submission. And he tapped out.
Yeah. So
So it's like, why not just have the bitter end just
exactly.
finish it instead of making Joe Coffey tap?
Right. So he kicks out of the bitter end, and Pete Dunne rolls him over, gets on top, and he does the finger snap, and then bends his finger back, which is it's gross.
I know.
So and then he bends his after snapping his fingers, bends one of them back, and Joe Coffey taps. So I agree. If you're gonna have him lose,
I don't know.
just have the bitter end knock him out, and that so that was that. Pete Dunne retains the title for 601 days, and then we're getting ready to shut off. The trademark comes up on the bottom right.
Yeah, you were getting up to go make coffee and leave.
Yep, I was getting ready to leave, and then lights go down a little bit. We hear unusual music, and you were like, "Here he is."
Yep, and it was Walter. It was Walter. He came down. It was a cool spot.
Yeah,
and the crowd was going nuts for him. They were singing his music the whole time.
Yep,
and he just stares at Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne just gets closer. And Joe Coffey gets up, and then he just kicks down Coffey.
One big boot knocks him off the apron.
Then he gets in Pete Dunne's face and he just puts his hands behind his back.
Yeah,
and I thought that was so.
He has like an old
cool.
like colonial jacket. And it says Ring General, so it's kind of like what you'd expect an old general would do. Like puff out the chest, hands behind the back, very formal. And then Pete Dunne puts the title in his mouth without the mouth guard. Does his little and so we're getting that feud.
I'm very excited.
Pete Dunne, freaking Walter.
I hope I have time to tune in this week because I definitely want to see.
Oh yeah, because they're gonna something about that. But there it is. So we knew Walter was coming to WWE, and I kind of
expected to be in this capacity so soon.
I assumed that he would be the one to take the title off of Pete Dunne. I didn't think that he would get injected into the main event scene immediately upon arrival.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think he's gonna compete on the first episode after this?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Well, if he does, I think his
don't...
first match is definitely gonna be a squash match.
Yeah, where he'll chop the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's on the first episode. I think that'd be cool.
I think it would be cool. I just don't know because I don't know how they do their tapings.
Yeah,
because they don't. Yeah. It's not like Raw or SmackDown where it's live. Like they might have taped a while ago, or they might have done some tapings at Takeover.
Right.
They might be taping right now, doing next week's episode for all we know.
Yeah.
I hope we see Walter. I really do.
I think he's definitely gonna be there at least.
Yeah, he should. Even if it's just a backstage promo or something. Like,
yeah.
The other thing is we've known Walter's been signed for
a long time.
Probably like at least a month.
They definitely have big plans.
So there's big plans, but there's they probably could have taped. They could have done tapings with him before Takeover. Yeah. So I think it would be great if he's on that because people are going to tune in this week.
Yeah.
After this great Takeover, I think that there's definitely going to be. I think that there's going to be more people watching, more eyes on this program this week, and so I think having Walter there would really, really help with that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So yeah, I'm thinking overall, that was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I think it's a nice step in the right direction. I'm very excited to see how the next Takeover goes, see if they can build off of that momentum.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope it only gets better. I mean, it should. NXT US has been
it's just
killing it every time and stepping up, so I don't see why UK would be different.
I mean, I think people might have had a problem with Finn Balor showing up because he's main roster and all that crap.
They shouldn't. I
think it was a great way. It
really put over Devlin.
It put over Devlin, and it was a great way to really, really up the ante for this first Takeover. What better name? What bigger UK star out there is there?
Yeah, it's true.
Like in the WWE than Finn Balor.
Yeah.
You think of Ireland, you think of the UK and that wrestling. You think Pete Dunne, Mustache Mountain, Finn Balor,
and Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre.
I mean Becky Lynch.
All right. But Finn showed up.
But Charlotte was in the crowd.
Yeah. Why her? Why not Becky?
Because she's the queen.
Yeah, but Becky Lynch is the man.
Yeah, I know. I wish it was Becky.
It should have been Becky, but I think it's cool that they went. I mean, they opened the new performance center in the UK, which is really great. Just more of the, as Triple H calls it, global localization. Just WWE spreading their fingers everywhere as far as they can.
Yeah,
just destroying the indie scene. Yeah, I thought overall, great show.
I liked it a lot.
Great to see Walter. Kenny Omega to WWE confirmed. So that's great. And we actually have one of our other friends here, and he is new to wrestling, so this is good. His name's Tim. We just started wrapping him into WWE, and we had him come watch Takeover with us. So we're actually going to get his as a non-wrestling.
Yeah, it would be a little interesting to see how well the takeovers do, because people always turn like Raw and SmackDown getting reviews. I thought it'd be interesting to see how like a more wrestling-based show would hold up against
Exactly.
casual viewer.
You know, a little less exciting, but still interesting. So we're gonna get Tim's thoughts right here.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you
Hey,
for having
Tim.
me.
Oh yeah, of course. So let's go match by match and just quick thoughts on what you thought about it.
Okay.
So we had that first match, the tag team match.
Yeah, I was disappointed because I think it was either was it Trent that got injured?
Yes, Trent
Yes,
had
he
his
got
head open.
injured.
Yes.
And he put in all that work for nothing, and I was just very disappointed. So that's my
Okay.
thoughts on that.
Did you think it was a good match?
Oh yeah, no, great match, great opening especially.
Yeah.
But like I said, puts in all that work and just doesn't see the victory. So.
Right. And then we had Travis Banks, Jordan Devlin.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Or Finn Balor, I guess. What did you think about that?
So that one was like very interesting to me because I mean, like, I'm not necessarily surprised that the match got canceled because they showed beforehand that there was like drama, and I think it was more
Right.
exciting this way. What I do find interesting is that you told me that in real life Finn Balor actually trained him.
Yeah.
So that is an interesting dynamic that I appreciated seeing, and I think it was a perfect way to like surprise the audience, just have Finn
Definitely.
there, like.
Yeah, especially such a big star, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that was great. Then we had the no DQ match, Eddie Dennis, Dave Mastiff, the big guy versus the skinny guy.
Yeah, no, that was a very good one too.
So fun, but
not the best.
clearly not too impactful.
The women's match.
That's what I was gonna say. That one was really, really interesting because I did not know who was gonna win. I know that one of you wanted Tony to win, the other did not.
Oh, we both
wanted
You predicted it would go the other way.
Yeah.
Very surprising, but what I loved most about that is just how like proud that Tony was of herself at the end. I've never seen anyone be so happy, like genuinely happy, I think, to win out of like all the matches I've seen. Usually they like, they're in their characters and everything,
Right.
but like really she was like, she deserved that because, her face says it all.
Clearly we all love Tony Storm here. And then the main event, the title match.
That also kept me on the edge of my seat because how many times was there almost a pin and then there just wasn't?
Welcome to the world of wrestling. The near falls are.
I did think that Joe Coffey was gonna win.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I thought so.
That's interesting.
And
That's
I
interesting.
do love how at the end though, when Walter came out and Joe Coffey, I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know if he was trying to like tag team against him.
I think he was like, you know what, I'm in this main event picture too, and then Walter just cleaned him out.
Yep. And so like if that's
down to the tag division.
Yeah. If that's a warning for his like appearances here on Fourth, then it's a really good one because like I was scared, and based off that kick, I think everyone else should be too.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I think.
What would you rate the show out of 5?
Oh yeah.
Oh, out of 5, solid 3.5, 4.
All right,
I think
that's a solid rating.
And that's the first of UK I've ever seen too. So.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I think we're all in the same boat. That was a really fun show. I think I gave it a 4. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd give it like a 3.5.
All right, so we're all in the same general area.
You look really small.
It's because I'm leaning back. I also am smaller than both of you. So yeah, really, really fun show. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll probably be back to do Royal Rumble predictions.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel Between the Ropes Wrestling, like the Facebook page, comment on the video, send it to your friends, all that.
Most definitely. Thank you guys. Thank you, Tim, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course,
All right.
and we will catch you next time.